Okay guys, so we're going to get started on this texture for our kit bashing elements. So what I'm going to do, or what I have here is I have some photos that I'm going to use to actually make my texture up. So let's go to File, let's make a new one. Let's do 1024 by 1024. Awesome. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually start with, where did it go? This guy. I'm going to start with this guy. So I'm just going to hit Control A, Control C to copy, and then I'm going to paste it on in there. I'm going to hit Control T to transform it. So I'm going to take it, and let's take it out a little bit. And let's see. And compress it a little bit, and then I'm going to hit the marquee tool. I'm probably going to go from about, say, there down, and hit Control X to cut it out, just because I don't want it taking up that much of my texture space. This is a repeat pattern that I did. I'll probably cover that in another video. I went about doing that, but for right now, we're just going to kind of push forward with this. So I got my roof in there. So that's cool. And let's take a look what else we have as far as elements. I think I want to do like a Chinese themed assets. So one of the things I want to do is make a Chinese lantern. And let me pull up some reference images here. So here's a lantern right here. I don't know if I'm going to do a whole bunch of the dangly stuff here, but it has a little ribbing on it. So when I was looking through my texture assets, I found this guy, which has the ribbing, and I dig that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to hit Control A to select all, Control C to copy. We're going to go over to our texture, and we're going to paste it in. It's going to make a new layer for us. And all this is a roll-up wall for a garage, so that'll be nice. And I'm going to scale it down with Control T. Scale it down. Cool. And now, if we look at this guy, it's got that little weird tear thing there. I want to see if I can get rid of that. If not, I'll just cut it out. So what I'm going to do is just hit the marquee tool, select the area. I'm actually going to go to Edit, Fill, and then I'll get this little window that pops up. And I'm going to use Content Aware to fill it in. Hit OK, and let's see what it can do. Oh, I have to be on the actual layer. Alright, cool. That did a really good job, actually. Cool. So, with the horizontal ribbing, there's also a little bit of vertical. And it's not necessarily ribbing, it's just something on the inside of the object itself. Let's see if I can get a better image of that. This guy. Kind of shows it off. It's insanely blurry though. There we go. Okay. So it has this ribbing going down this way too. It doesn't have the horizontal, but it has that going on. So what I want to do is put that in there as well. And I'm going to do that a little bit differently. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a new layer here. Do my marquee tool. Hit D to go my default colors. G to get my fill tool. I'm just going to put that in there. I'm just going to duplicate this and then hit V for my move tool. Now select it, deselect, and we'll just move this guy over. And I want them spaced out pretty good too. I'm gonna just take these guys, merge them together, and we'll duplicate that merge just by dragging it down to the new layer. Cool. Alright, and then I'll just merge these guys back together. So I want this opacity to actually be lower so it doesn't show up that much. Cool. And I'm going to put these guys in a group folder. So with this layer, the layer I want selected, or the layer I want inside the group folder, I'm going to select them, hit this folder icon right here, and then I'm going to name it Lantern. I think I spelled that right. I don't know. And then I'll just click and drag them into that. So I can close that and open it. And that's all my Lantern assets. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control A, copy. Actually, I take it back. I'm going to Control click the little thumbnail here. That's going to select this guy. Make a new layer. And then I'm going to get a nice rich red color. Okay, I'm going to hit G again for my fill. Fill that in. Control D to deselect. And then let's go see about color burn. No. There we go. Linear burn. Looks like it might work pretty well. I think we're going to do linear. Yep. Yep. Excellent. Alright. And I want a little something on this. Just a little symbol. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my kanji right here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select the wand tool. I'm going to go magic wand. I want my tolerance at 0. Contiguous, sure, why not? I'm going to select the black part here. Nope, I'm going to set my tolerance to 10. Deselect and select it again. There we go. Shift select that guy. And I'm just going to do a copy, Control C. Come back over here. Control V, paste it in. T, and we'll scale it down. And I want that to be white, so I can go in and try to fill it, or with the layer selected, I hit Control I, and it'll invert it for me. So, and let's bring that opacity down just a tiny bit. Yeah, and that'll work. Cool. Okay. So what else did we want to do here? Oh, I wanted to have a little pot. So what I'm going to do is make the pot here. Control A, Control C to copy it. Close up my lantern. And Control V to paste it in. I'm going to scale this guy a little bit. Actually, let's make it a little bit bigger. Cool. And then what I want to do also is give it a little bit of this texture in it. So again, we'll Control A, copy, we'll go over to our scene, paste it on in, and then Control T, make it smaller. Okay, and then just make a new group here. pots. And then what I can do with this guy is let's make a mask layer. And we can grab our pen and actually come over here, the brush tool, and let's get a soft. What am I at? 30%? That's fine. And let's take some of those edges off. I'm just trying to get off those hard edges. And then after we do that, let's see what kind of blend modes we can do to make it look good. Ooh, darken works out really nicely actually. I like to zoom out just to make sure it's fitting in nice. Yeah, dig that. And then I'm gonna take that kanji again, and I'm just gonna copy the layer, come back over here, make a new layer, we'll paste it in. That was not what I wanted to do. Let's try it again. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to take this guy and I'm actually just going to do a color overlay on him. So if it has any opacity on it, that'll transfer on through. And I want that to be a little bit darker. Excellent. And then I think I'm going to want this as a color burn. Maybe a color dodge. I'll change the opacity of it. Make it a little bigger. Alrighty. Okay, I decided that I want this to actually be darker, and I'm going to come back and do some different things with this. Or be more saturated, not more dark. Okay. And I'm going to put a opacity mask on this guy too. And then I'm going to hit my brush, go down here. I'm going to select a brush that's got a little bit of texture to it. Let's do a chalk. Yeah. And then I'll go to my brush tools here. And shape dynamic. No, change your mind. I don't like that. Let's do that one. And that, transfer. And I want my opacity to be on as well with this. Okay. Alright, let's see how this goes for us. Let's take it out a little bit. But I don't like that, actually. Let's pick a different brush. Sometimes it takes a while to find a brush that's working for what you want to do with it. That's better. Okay. So we'll close that up and we'll give this a shot. I'm going to turn my opacity up too on my brush over here. Turn that up to 100 so I can get, if I really want to get it out, I can. That's good for me. And then I'm just gonna, so this pops a little bit more, see about doing stroke on it, see what that looks like. Alright, that looks awful, so we're not gonna do that. Maybe a little bit of outer glow though. Let's put that multiply, let's make it dark. There we go. Yeah. Okay, cool. I dig that. Okay. Okay, so let's do, I'm just gonna copy this guy, close lantern, and then let's make a new layer here, paste it up. Oops. Just do it when we can. Select the color, let's paste it in there. I guess I don't know what I'm doing here. Maybe this guy's like a fire salesman, like he sells charcoal or something like that. If you guys didn't know, that's the kanji symbol for fire. So. So I think I'm gonna actually copy that and I'm gonna bring it over here. I'm gonna just make it black. So I'm just gonna invert it since it's already white. You do that. Right, let's make it a little bit bigger. And I think this is going to be like a little cloth cover. So let's look up some cloth. Alright, and let's actually make a new one. We'll just call it cloth. paste it in. And that's giant, so we hit Control T, we can bring it down. Right click, and we can say let's rotate 90 degrees. We can bring it to that size with the red. Okay, hit enter, finish that. So we just want this folded texture. So all we have to do is to go to the layer effects here, and we just want to do it as a multiply. And there we go. There's some in there. If we want to make it a little bit stronger, we can duplicate it. Makes it a little bit stronger, but it also will make it darker. Maybe we want to flip that 180. So a little bit of that there. I'm going to change the color of this right now because it got a little bit darker. Let's see if we go just a little bit. Oh, I like that there. Sweet. And then, so there's some kind of seam there. I'm gonna put that there. And there we go. And I think that'll work for us. Cool. So let's work on getting the wood in there. There it is. So again, Control A, Control C for copy. Come back over here. Close the cloth up. Oops. Let me put these guys in the cloth texture. And paste it on in. V to move it around.